Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
And welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events most of all. Thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And then remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Well, I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money. I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, we're celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Let's see. What do we have to celebrate today? National Strawberry Sundae Day. Okay. I don't know. I'm not big into strawberry. I guess if you put the strawberries over the chocolate ice cream, it works. Is that what they meant, or do they mean strawberry ice cream? I don't know. We'll just move right along. How about Macaroni Day? Okay, gotta add some cheese to that. Of course, I like most Italian foods, so I guess macaroni with marinara or any way you like it. Any way you want a cheese, I cut it. I mean, that'll work for us. Let's see what the markets are doing today. We've got the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 321 points. S&P 500 is down 33. The NASDAQ is down 119, and oil's up $1.26 a barrel. We don't like that. We don't want to see oil jumping up. But should we look at gas prices? I didn't have to fill up over the weekend, so I didn't go and check out the prices. But this is California, so we probably are paying more than we should. It is $4.56 a gallon. $3.14 is the national average. We haven't seen those big tax increases kick in yet. I'm sure they're on the way, but we'll keep on watching for them. Let's see what happens with those. We're seeing also that bond prices. There's just a few stocks that are really driving what's going on with the stock market. And as unfortunately that we never heard or we never got is it unfortunate or is it fortunate? The budget bill that went through, or I guess the Budget Act now, I guess it's no longer just a bill. The Budget Act that was signed into law over the weekend, as everybody expected, was going to have such a major impact on the markets. Well, we told you that it would not have a major impact on the market.
It is what it is.
Yeah, you knew better than that.
You know better than that.
You were listening to Ron Siegel Radio, and we told you that anything that was there was already built in. There was nothing of any, the world was not going to come to an end, as we heard from some people. And we're going to chat about it. So I did have one of our resources. We did get a real in-depth look at the new bill. They call it the One Big Beautiful Act, I think is what it's now referred to as, OBBA. $4.5 trillion, depending upon your thinking, tax cut, tax increase. We don't know. So what are the issues? What are the big issues that are involved? Number one is the extension of the rates. So the tax bill makes tax rates enacted in 2017 permanent. We like that idea. We don't have to worry about them going away anytime soon. So We got one that's a positive on that one. I know I'm sure I've got an applause meter somewhere on my board here that I can get us a applaud. There it is. So tax bill if it didn't pass, they would have increased the 12% rate to 15%, the 22 to 25%, 24 to 28. We don't have to worry about all those increases anymore because it passed. So that's all done. Standard deduction makes the Tax Cut and Jobs Act standard deduction permanent. It also increases the base standard deduction to $15,750 if you're single, $23,625 head of household, $31,500 married for 2025, and it'll be inflation adjusted. Okay, deductions for seniors. For January 1st, 2029, there will be a deduction of $6,000 for each individual who is age 65. Effective 2025, $6,000 will be reduced by 6% of the amount by which your adjusted gross income exceeds $150,000 filing jointly. So those that earned a lot of money, guess what? You're not going to get the deductions. And we also did see that unemployment no longer available for those that earn over $1 million a year. Tried that once before. Some of the Democrats didn't like that idea, but it is what it is. Child tax credit amount is increasing from $2,000 to $2,200 this year, starting in 26. The $2,200 will be increased by a cost of living adjustment, and it makes these amounts permanent. So those that have kids, you just got a break. Number 5, the deduction for qualified business income. Bill makes the 199A qualified business income deduction permanent. It also increases the phase-out ranges from $50,000 to $75,000 single and from $100 to $150 for married. Creates a $400 deduction starting in 2026. Okay, so there's more benefits for small businesses right there. State and local tax deduction. That's the SALT group that there was a lot of discussion over, increasing to $40,000 in 2025, and it'll increase to $40,400 in 2026 and continue to increase 1% annually until 2030. In 2030, it goes back to $10,000. Why does that happen? Well, the parliamentarian says that if you don't do things that way, then it doesn't qualify to be done in the reconciliation. And then it would require 60 votes in the Senate, which you can't get 60 senators to vote on anything. If they're not willing to vote that people that earn $1 million or more can't get unemployment benefits, what would they agree on? Also, $500,000 threshold for both single and married filers on that one. No tax on tips. Josh, they must be loving this one in Vegas. So no tax on tips. This deduction is $25,000 deduction for qualified tips effective 2025 to 2028. And it's reduced by $100 for each $1,000 by which your gross income exceeds $300,000 married, half of that if you're single. And it is allowed even if you take the standard deduction. Does not matter. And we're going to continue. We've got a few more of these things to go through. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, what you should know about getting a mortgage today and smart money moves for college. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564, complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564. Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. 1990, the Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And every day at this time, OBMMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry. Calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. They do not tell us points paid, points received, or the APR. They only tell us the number you need to put in your mortgage calculator to figure out what your principal and interest payment will be. If you don't have a mortgage calculator, shame on you. We give it away for free every morning. It's rsrlinks.com/mobile app. rsrlinks.com/mobile app. That'll get you the calculator for free every day. What did rates do on Thursday? Because we were closed on Friday, although the markets did close early on Thursday. Mixed market. Conventional 30-year fix, 6.691. That was up. Jumbo 30-year fix, 6.678. That was down. FHA 30-year fix, 6.464. That was down. VA 30-year fix, 6.318. That was up. USDA, rural areas, generally no down payment. That one was 30-year fix, 6.44. That was down. And as I tell you all the time, the best loan on the market, that would be the Home Select loan, the all-in-one loan. And that one's at 8.3, but it saves you more money in interest just because the way it's handled. That's what's going on in the markets as far as rates go. Now, remember, I do like to remind you that rates, when we tell you about the rates, it's an issue that you just have to really be careful of, because wherever you look for rates, they're all going to be different. So I shared with you the 30-year conforming rate on Thursday, 6.691, according to OBMMI. Mortgage News Daily said 6.75. Freddie Mac said 6.67. Mortgage Bankers Association said 6.79. So every one of them are different. So how do you know what to do? Don't worry about it. Give us a call at 800-306-1990. We'll tell you what you qualify for. And that's all that matters, is because it doesn't matter when you look at those numbers. The way they calculate them can make them not as meaningful for everybody. And we just want you to understand that. Now, what's the markets doing today? The S&P 500 is down 49 points. We've got the 10-year Treasury is up 3 basis points, 4.38. That's the yield. The mortgage bond is down 17 basis points. When the bond goes down, that tells us rates are going up. Why? Well, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, OBBBA, was passed, and many are wondering how it will impact mortgage rates, as it does add to the deficit. Thus far, they are taking it in stride, as it did extend the debt ceiling, which is always a concern to the bond market in terms of defaulting on our debt. But there are, of course, concerns over the overall debt level continuing to grow. There were some extension and increases in tax deductions for real estate, permanent mortgage insurance deduction subject to income limits, permanent $750,000 cap on mortgage interest deduction, and as I shared in the first segment, extending the SALT, state and local tax deduction, from $10,000 to $40,000 until 2029, and you phase down starting for incomes over $500,000. We want to make sure you're educated on all of these issues because they do affect you. Now, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent spoke earlier this morning and made some very interesting comments. He discussed the OBBBA, where he said that the growth that will come of it will be key. It's true that the debt level is increased, but if growth surpasses current estimates because of it, something that the CBO does not factor in, it could cause the debt to GDP ratio to fall. Bessent also explained that the deregulation can help growth to increase. Another point Bessent brought up is the fact that without the passage, we would likely have seen growth fall and potential recession, which would have made the debt to GDP ratio go much higher. Polymarket discussed their odds from 66% of a recession to now 20%. On tariffs, Bessent said that if things don't move along with negotiations, many countries will see their tariff rates jump back to the April 2nd levels, and that'll happen on August 1st. He explained that there would be several trade announcements over the next 48 hours, and it's not about the quantity, but the quality of the trade deals. He was asked about him being the next Fed chair. He said he'll do what the president wants. ICE Home Price Appreciation Report. This is not the same as the immigration group. This is a different ICE group. Reported that home values rose 0.02% in June, which was near the flat line. Clearly, we're seeing slowing of appreciation, likely due to high rates and more inventory. Year-over-year home prices rose 1.6% in May, and they are forecasting that to decelerate to 1.3% in June when they have their final numbers. This is the slowest growth rate since mid-2023. Yet we still saw 6% appreciation that year. It's important to note that there can be big fluctuations throughout the year based on when you capture year-over-year inflation. And while we are not expecting 6% this year, the full year will likely be stronger than the 1.6% they reported in May due to appreciation in home equity. Only about 1% of mortgage holders are underwater, representing a little over 500,000 homeowners. That's 538,000 nationwide. 15 years ago, it was about 25%. That's the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call. 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. Let's continue our journey through some of the top items in the One Big Beautiful Budget Act. I think that's what all the B's are in there. So I think we already spoke about the no tax on tips. The next one, no tax on overtime. $12,500 deduction or $25,000 married jointly is created for overtime effective 2025 through 2028. The reduction is reduced by $100 for each 100,000 by which your income exceeds $300,000 as a married couple. Now, remember, you're paying tax on the income, just not the overtime income. So if you're making $20 an hour and you get paid $30 an hour for overtime, you still pay tax on the 20. You don't pay tax on that extra 10 that you've earned. So you got a big benefit there to go work a little bit more. And we're going to get more people going to work because the malarkey that we got in the media about cutting Medicare and Medicaid, no. What they're basically saying is able-bodied individuals who can work have to go back to work. And what do they have to work? They have to work 80 hours a month, 20 hours a week, or they can go do community service for the same amount of time. One way or another, able-bodied individuals have to go to work if they want to get Medicare and Medicaid. Let's look at number 9, car loans. There will be a $10,000 deduction on car loan interest. Again, 2025 to 2028. The deduction will be reduced by $200 for each $1,000 by which your income exceeds $100,000 or $200,000 married. Final assembly of the car must be within the U.S. to qualify. The assembly. So if all the parts are made in Mexico and they put it all together in the U.S., okay, you qualify. The Trump account. Establish an individual retirement account, which is not a Roth, for a beneficiary under 18 years old. The maximum contribution per year is $5,000. No deduction is allowed. No withdrawals before the age of 18. Dependent care increases dependent care FSA limit from $5,000 to $7,500, raises the maximum percentage of qualified expenses you can claim for child and dependent care from 35 to 50%, effective 2026 tax year. So that's another one there. Let's go on. Permanent and expanded deduction for charitable contributions of $1,000 or $2,000 if married will now be deductible, even if you don't itemize your deductions. That means even if you're taking the standard deduction, you can still donate to charity and get a write-off for it. The 1099K, you may remember that under the American Rescue Plan, the 1099K threshold starts changing to $600. And the new repeal, that thresholds and rolls back $20,000 limit and $200 transaction, 200 transactions for Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, starting this year. So no more do you have to worry about that $600 reporting unless you're doing over 200 transactions. No more EV subsidies. Used car credit ends after September 30th this year. New car credit, September 30 this year. Section 25C, energy efficient home improvements, ends after this year. And 25D, residential energy credits, ends after this year as well. That's what Elon's upset about. Okay, let's keep going. I think we got a few more, Josh, to fit in here. Bonus depreciation and Section 179 expensing. Bonus depreciation is made permanent and is 100% if placed in service on or after January 19th, 2025. The bill increases the maximum amount you may expense under Section 179 to $2.5 million, reduced if cost of property exceeds $4 million. Increased estate and gift tax exemption. That one there is big for our friends in real estate. Goes from 13.99 to 15 million effective next year. It also increased with inflation after that. So there is a little bit of rundown of some of the important items within the bill, if you like that information. And we did put that on our social media channels. We put a video out over the weekend on that. We also put a video out on how the overtime is dealt with as well. So if you didn't catch those, go to any of our social channels. You will find them there. That is, you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, what you should know about getting a mortgage and smart money moves for college financial planning, all that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1065. 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564. Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the first Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ. and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Do you believe Southern California real estate is a great investment? Are you a little short to be a cash investor? Are you missing the Social Security card or tax returns? The Siegel Lending Team has the loans for you. Common Sense Lending is back. Yes, there's a cost to higher risk, but the reward can be great. Call today for details. 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 217037 and DRE number 1869452.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. You've been putting off buying a home. Well, I guess I should tell you what you should know about getting a mortgage today. If you've been putting off buying a home because you thought getting approved would be too hard, know this. Qualifying for a mortgage is starting to get a bit more achievable, but lending standards are still strong. Lenders are making it slightly easier for well-qualified buyers to access financing, which is opening more doors for people ready to make a move. So, if strict requirements were holding you back, this shift could be the opportunity you've been waiting for without repeating the risky lending practices that led to the housing crash back in 2008. Lenders are opening more doors. Banks are offering credit to more people in an effort to boost activity in the housing market, including buyers who have lower credit scores or smaller down payments. And that means more people are getting approved for mortgages. But it does not mean we're heading for another crash like 2008. Even with the slight easing lately, lending standards today are still much tighter than they were back then. According to Mortgage Bankers Association, MBA, the Mortgage Credit Availability Index, MCAI, has been going up. This index shows how easy or hard it is for people to get a mortgage. When the index rises, it means banks are easing their lending standards, and it made credit availability hit its highest point in almost 3 years. Again, that's credit availability. And if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk, or AM 1490, FM 98.1 video feeds, you are seeing a chart of mortgage credit availability rising. Why does this matter to you? It means you may now be able to qualify for a mortgage that you wouldn't have just a few months ago. The National Association of Underwriters, NAMU, explains, quote, mortgage credit availability surged in May, reaching its highest level since August 2022. The uptick signals that lenders are increasingly willing to loosen underwriting standards, providing borrowers with greater access to financial options. But what about 2008? You might be thinking, didn't looser lending standards play a role in the 2008 housing crash? That's a good question and an important one. But here's the difference. While credit availability is rising, lending standards are still under control. Based on MCAI, data going all the way back to 2004, today's lending levels are still way below what they were leading up to the housing bubble. And again, you're seeing a graph, and that graph looks pretty nice if you're looking at lending standards still under control, because they've pretty much flatlined right there. So increasing mortgage credit availability right now isn't a concern. It's just a good thing for anyone looking to buy a home. As Brett Hively, Senior VP of Mortgage Finance and Strategy at Ameris Bancorp, recently said, this uptick is opening the door for many borrowers to move forward with a home purchase or a refinance program. So if you've been holding back because you thought you couldn't get approved for a mortgage, it's worth finding out what's possible today. Give me a call to talk about options to see if you're ready to take that next step forward toward home ownership. Remember, there's a lot of big banks and credit unions that only offer a limited number of mortgage products. That's why you need to talk to a mortgage banker or a mortgage broker to find out what else is available that you might qualify for. I've been saying this for years, and I'm right, that the big question that comes up and most people need to understand is banks, when they say you don't qualify, they should be putting the caveat in there with us, because maybe you qualify with someone else who has more products available for you. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Let's see, Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by rsrlinks.com/debt-free, rsrlinks.com/debt-free. You want to get debt-free quicker, you got to have a strategy. And at rsrlinks.com/debt-free, you get started with the strategy. And without knowing you, I don't know, is it secured debt? Is it unsecured debt? We have answers to both. Smart money moves for college-bound families. Again, you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, where we help you stay ahead of the curve on your home, your wealth, and your future. I am Ron Siegel, your certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Today, we're diving into one of the biggest financial stress points for American families: paying for college. Whether you've got a high school sophomore or a senior with one foot out the door, today's episode is your blueprint for avoiding unnecessary debt and putting your money to work smarter. Let's be honest. College costs are no joke. We're not just talking about tuition anymore. There's housing, food, fees, books, and yes, probably a $7 latte habit. It adds up fast, but you don't have to face it with blinders on. Start with the tests that matter. Every October, high school sophomores and juniors can take the PSAT, the National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test. Whether or not your student plans to take the SAT for college admission, this test can unlock scholarship opportunities. Some of the most generous awards start right here. Then, in the spring of the junior year, it's time for the SAT or ACT. The earlier they take it, the more time there is for a retake. And don't stress, most colleges will only look at the best score. Next up, file for the FAFSA. This is the gateway, the free application for federal student aid. FAFSA is your family's ticket to federal grants, work study, and low-interest loans. Over 17 million students file it each year and collectively receive $112 billion in aid. But here's the pro tip. Don't wait until the last minute. You'll want to gather your tax documents and financial statements early. If that sounds overwhelming, I've got great news. I can refer you to trusted professionals who can help you complete the FAFSA step by step with confidence. And they can even help you get your assets in order to help you qualify for more. Yeah, there's a strategy there. Now let's talk free money. Scholarship and grants, what we call gift aid, don't need to be paid back, and you'd be surprised how many are left unclaimed simply because families don't know where to look. Start with your college's financial aid office, then do some careful searching online, but be cautious. If a site wants you to pay to apply, it's probably a scam. Ron's hot take, 529 plans aren't always the answer. Here's where I go against the grain. You'll hear a lot of conventional wisdom pushing 529 college plans. I am not a fan. The restrictions, the tax traps, the lack of flexibility, the penalty in the FAFSA world, they don't always serve families as well as you'd think. Instead, I'm a strong advocate for using strategic life insurance solutions to fund education. Properly structured, these policies can offer tax-free growth, liquidity, and control that traditional college savings vehicles simply don't. If you want a strategy that works harder and smarter, I've got options for you. Coordinating college and your full financial picture. College costs don't happen in a vacuum. They impact your retirement, your mortgage planning, and your household cash flow. That's why I don't treat them as a standalone conversation. As a certified liability advisor, I work with families to balance short-term educational needs with long-term wealth-building goals using tools like home equity, smart debt structuring, and yes, permanent life insurance. Quick recap. 1, PSAT, PSAT, open scholarship doors. Don't miss that October window. 2, take the SAT or ACT early to allow time for a second round. 3, file the FAFSA on time and let me connect you with a pro if you want help. 4, search for scholarships wisely. No fee should ever be required. 5, rethink the 529 and explore strategic life insurance as a flexible alternative. Take action today if you want help coordinating your family's financial aid strategy, or you're curious about using strategic life insurance instead of locking yourself into a 529. Let's talk. Visit rsrlinks.com/Sora, rsrlinks.com/Sora to start your complimentary liability checkup. Will help you see the big picture and avoid costly mistakes before the first tuition bill hits your inbox. I'm Ron Siegel, and this is Ron Siegel Radio, reminding you it's not just about getting into college. It's about graduating without a mountain of regret. Keep watching Ron Siegel Radio for Borrow Smart, Repay Smart, and Retire Smart. Until then, stay safe, stay strategic, and stay tuned. Again, I'm Ron Siegel, your certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. That's your Credit Matters segment, brought to you by rsrlinks.com/debt-free, rsrlinks.com/debt-free. And there are a lot of ways that you can get out of debt. You just have to take a look at them, and we're more than happy to help show those to you. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, what celebrities teach us about estate planning and think no one's buying homes right now, think again. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990. And you're Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Borrow Smart segment today being brought to you by GetHomeSelect.com, GetHomeSelect.com. What celebrities teach us about estate planning. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio, where we don't just talk about homes and loans. We talk about life, wealth, and making the smart moves right before someone else has to clean up the mess. I'm Ron Siegel, your certified liability advisor, and today I'm diving into something we all need, but most folks avoid until it's too late: estate planning. Now, before you tune out, this doesn't apply to you. Let me ask you a question. If something unexpected happened to you tonight, would your loved ones know what to do tomorrow? See, even some of the richest, most powerful celebrities have messed this up royally. And if they had millions of dollars and armies of advisors, but still left chaos behind, imagine what happens when we don't plan right. Let's start with the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. Aretha had hits in 5 decades. Her voice was legendary. But when she passed in 2018, what did her family find? Not one, but multiple wills, one handwritten and stuffed inside a couch cushion. That sparked a 4-year legal battle just to figure out what she actually wanted. Lesson here: if you make changes to your estate wishes, formalize them. Putting them on paper is good, but handing them off to a professional could have saved Aretha's family a boatload of legal drama and emotional stress. Now let's talk rock and roll. Jim Morrison, the Lizard King. Frontman of the Doors, gone at 27, but credit where it's due. He did leave a 2-page will naming his girlfriend, Pamela Curson, as heir. Sounds good, right? Well, Pamela passed away just 3 years later without a will of her own. That led to Morrison's parents, whom he specifically excluded, battling Pamela's family for control over his estate. It took lawyers, courts, and a whole lot of cash to sort out that mess. The fix: having a full strategy, not just a quick will, and making sure those around you, especially beneficiaries, have their planning in place too. Your estate doesn't exist in a vacuum. Then there's Frank Sinatra. Old Blue Eyes did it his way. His $100 million estate had a clause that disinherited anyone who contested the will. End of story? That's called thinking ahead. Robin Williams left the home to his wife and the stuff inside to the kids, but never clarified what stuff. You can imagine the arguments over memorabilia, props, and movie collectibles. That case got settled out of court. Anna Nicole Smith married a billionaire, but he never updated his will to include her. His adult son inherited everything. The legal battle lasted 20 years. And here's the twist: both Anna Nicole and the son passed away before the courts could finalize the decision. If that's not a warning shot, I don't know what is. Prince. The man literally changed his name to a symbol, but never wrote a will. 6 years after his passing, the Minnesota courts finally figured out how to split his $156 million estate. It took 6 heirs, 2 LLCs, and an army of accountants to sort it out. These aren't just celebrity problems. Sure, you may not be sitting on a vault full of unreleased songs or film memorabilia, but you've got a family, maybe a house, maybe a business, and you definitely have wishes about what should happen when you're no longer here to explain them. Without clear instructions, you're leaving behind confusion, arguments, and courtrooms. That's not a legacy, that's a liability. What you can do right now: write a will. Even a basic one is better than nothing, but make sure it's legal, signed, and stored where it can be found. Number 2, update beneficiaries. IRAs, life insurance, retirement accounts, they all need updated designations. Those override what's in your will. Number 3, consider a living trust, especially if you own property or expect your estate to go through probate. Number 4, consult a professional. That's where folks like me come in as a certified liability advisor. I help you look at the whole picture, not just assets, but liabilities, ownership, and strategy. And I've got the professionals to help document it all. Listen, estate planning isn't just for the wealthy. It's for anyone who loves their family enough to make life easier when they're gone. And if you're not sure where to start, I'll make it easy. We offer a 30-second liability checkup. No hard pulls, no commitment, just clarity. Visit rsrlinks.com/Sora, rsrlinks.com/Sora. Let's get your plan in order before life throws the unexpected curveball your way. That's it for today on Ron Siegel Radio. I'm your Ron Siegel, your certified liability advisor. helping families build wealth through strategic management. And remember, don't let your final gift to your family be a courtroom battle. Let it be peace, protection, and a plan. That is the Borrow Smart segment, brought to you by GetHomeSelect.com. GetHomeSelect.com. I think we got time. Yeah, we got time to do a real-time real estate segment brought to you by RSRmoney.com. RSRmoney.com. Think no one's buying homes right now? Think again. Let's see. If you've seen headlines saying home sales are down compared to last year, you might be thinking, is it even a good time to sell? Here's the thing. Sure, the pace of the market has cooled compared to the frenzy we saw just a few years ago, but that's not a red flag. It's a return to normal. And normal doesn't mean nothing's happening. Buyers are still out there and homes are still selling. Why? Because real life doesn't pause for perfect conditions. There are always people who need to buy, and this year there is no exception. Buyers who are in the middle of a big change in their lives, a new marriage, a growing family, or a job still need to move no matter where mortgage rates are, and they may be looking for a home just like yours. Every minute, 8 homes sell. Let's break it down. Using the latest sales data from the National Association of Realtors, NAR, based on the current pace, we're on track to sell 4.03 million homes this year, not including new construction. 4.03 million homes divided by 365 days equals 11,041 homes sell per day. 11,141 homes divided by 24 hours, 460 homes sell per hour. While we've been on this radio program today, 460 homes sold. 460 homes divided by 60 minutes, roughly 8 homes every minute. That means in the time it takes to read or listen to this segment, another 8 homes will sell. Let that sink in every minute. Buyers are making moves and sellers are closing deals. The right agent makes all the difference. If you've been holding off selling your house because you think buyers aren't out there, let this reassure you. There are still buyers looking to buy. But since the market is balancing out, selling today makes more than just putting up a sign in the yard. You've got to price your house right, market it well, and know how to reach the buyers who are ready to act. That's where a trusted local agent comes in. They'll help you navigate this market, position your home to stand out, and guide you through every step. Bottom line, the market hasn't stopped. Buyers are still buying. Life is still happening. And if selling your home is part of your next chapter, let's make it happen. Go get our quarterly home sellers guide, rsrlinks.com/HSG. rsrlinks.com/HSG. We just updated it. Roughly 11,000 homes are selling every day, and yours could be next. When you're ready to take the next step, give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. As I've told you before, I don't sell houses. I lead a lending team. But I can tell you this, I have a report card of every real estate agent in the country, and I can tell you who's doing business, who's not doing business. I'm just throwing that out there for you because it is important for you to know. And if you're not ready to take action right now, or at least even if you are, here's the idea. Go get the tools we offer you. Know what your home is worth. rsrlinks.com/homewealth. rsrlinks.com/homewealth. Know exactly what your home is worth, or we give you a good idea there. That's on there. It's free to you. What's the market like in your neighborhood? Because a lot of things are national. rsrlinks.com/market report. rsrlinks.com/market report. Give you an idea what's going on in your zip code. Doesn't get more granular than that. I don't have street data, sorry. And if you're thinking about renting versus owning, rsrlinks.com/RVO. We've done a segment on that. Pretty simple. Now, if you're thinking about selling your house, what is most important to you? Selling it quick and getting the most money possible. I like both of those. So you need to go to rsrlinks.com/salesmax. rsrlinks.com/salesmax. We'll tell you right there what the quickest ways are to sell your house. rsrlinks.com/salesmax, and we get you that information. And again, like always, it costs you absolutely nothing. I can't make it better for you than that. As always, we ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.